Hi, this is Munson with Munson Music, and we're talking about how you can strum through a song called Hello, I'm in Delaware by City and Color. And it's going to start on a B minor chord, and if you know the bar B minor, we'll talk about an easy substitute in a minute. But you do your first finger across the entire second fret, second finger is going to go to the B string on the third fret, third finger on the D on the fourth fret, and the pinky on the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a B minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And we'll talk about where we're going to move for key too in a moment. But a lot of times, if you want to kind of avoid the bar chords, you can actually make a couple easier B minors by taking the top strings of the bar and kind of making a smaller version of that chord. So to do that, if you take the first finger and go high E on the second fret, second finger on the B on the third fret, and third finger on the G string on the third fret, if you strum the top three or the top four strings even, that's another way to play B minor. And then if you're a little bit more adventurous, you can kind of take the third finger from there and kind of go to the D string on the fourth fret instead, and take the pinky and go to the G string on the fourth fret. And if you strum the top four strings with that, that's another way you can play B minor. And then if you wanted to, you could kind of substitute in a B minor 7 for this chord too. And the way you play B minor 7, first finger is going to go to the A string on the second fret, second finger is going to go to the G string on the second fret, and third finger on the high E on the second fret. And if you strum the A string to the high E string, that sounds a B minor 7 chord, and it sounds really, really sad too. So there's a lot of different options for the B minor 7. Actually, we'll talk about another one later on. But then from the B minor 7, then we're going to be going to a G major. And the way you play G major, first finger is going to go to the A on the second fret, second finger on the low E on the third fret, and third finger on the high E on the third fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds a G major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the G major chord, we're going to be going to an E minor chord. And the way you play E minor, first finger is going to actually stay on the second fret on the A, and second finger is going to go to the D string on the second fret. And if you strum all those together, that sounds an E minor chord, and it sounds really, really sad. And we'll talk about some other options for the G and the E minor too later on. And then from the E minor, we're going to be going back to the G major chord, and then doing the G major chord again. And that's basically our progression through our intro and also through our verses. But a lot of times with a song like this, to make it more interesting, I like adding something called a strum pattern. And this song is actually in a 3/4 time, and one of my favorite 3/4 strum patterns is down, down, up, down, up. So if we took the B minor 7 or the B minor and just kind of try that a lot, you have down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So you want to do that a lot to get your right hand used to it. And if we try that through our verse progression, we got B minor, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, G down, down, up, down, G down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, G down. Basically going to be repeating that until we get to our chorus part. On our chorus, we're going to a D major chord, and the way we play D major, first finger is going to go to the G on the second fret, second finger on the high E on the second fret, and third finger on the B string on the third fret. And if you strum just the D, G, B, and E, kind of the skinny 4 strings, that sounds a D major chord, and it sounds really, really happy. And then from the D major, we're going to kind of be going to the E minor chord, and then more E minor, and then we go to G major, and then we do more G major, and then we do more G major, and then we do even more G major. And so that's basically our chorus progression through the song. So if we tried our strum pattern with that, we'd have the D down, up, down, D down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, G 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 down, down, up, down, D down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, G 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 down, down, up, down, up. One other weird thing is, instead of starting on a B minor chord, City and Color is actually starting on an E flat minor chord. So to play along with the recording, what you want to do is take a capo, and if you put it on 4th fret, then now your B minor is really an E flat minor or a D sharp minor, and your G major is really a B major, and your E minor is really a G sharp minor, and then when we get to it, the D major is really an F sharp major. So we took it from the very beginning that way. We have our intro, we got the B minor, down, up, down, B minor, down, down, up, down, G down, down, up, down, G down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, E minor, down, down, up, down, G down. else you may want to play around with some of the chords actually are some other voicings for them. In the recording, it almost sounds like on the G major, instead of doing the G major with just 3 fingers, if you're on the G major and kind of do first finger on the A second, second finger on the low E on the third, and take the third finger and go to the B string on the 3rd fret, and the pinky on the high E on the 3rd fret, that's another way to play a G major. It's kind of a drone voicing. It's still playing the same notes that we were playing with G major. So that's another G major you may want to play around with. And instead of the E minor, you may want to play around with substituting in an E minor 7. And the way you play E minor 7, first finger kind of stays on the A on the 2nd fret. Second finger goes to the D string on the 2nd fret. And if you kind of strum all the strings with that, that's another way to play E minor. It's called E minor 7. It's like a really good substitute for most E minor chords. And on the B minor, actually, because of kind of the drone voicings for the G and the E minor, you could almost get away with doing the B minor as kind of just lifting the second finger from the D string second, and kind of going, so now I've got first finger on the A 2nd fret, third finger on the B on the 3rd, pinky on the high E on the 3rd, and kind of strumming the top strings with that from the A string to the high E. Could be a really cool way to kind of fake the B minor. So you'd have B minor with the drone voicing, G major with the drone voicing, E minor with drone voicing, G major with kind of the drone voicing. And I call them drones because like the E and the B are kind of playing the same 2 notes in each of those chords. So that might be something you want to kind of play around with. So if we tried it that way, we'd have B minor, down, down, B minor, down, 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 G down, 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 G down, 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 B minor, down, 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 B minor, down, 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 G down, 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 G down, down. So that might be something else you want to kind of play around with. And then there's this really cool lick that kind of happens on the 2nd G that we end up playing in that verse intro, and it kind of comes back, and it's a recurring theme where we play 2nd fret on the B string and do a hammer on the 3rd fret, and then go right back to the 2nd fret on the B string. So I'm going 2, 3, 2 is kind of a hammer on pull off on the B string, and then you go 2nd fret on the G string and do a slide to 4th fret on the G, but then you immediately slide back to 2 and then do a pull off. So this is kind of weird. I'm playing 2nd fret on the G, keeping enough pressure to get to the 4, keeping enough pressure to slide it back to 2, and then kind of letting my finger kind of fall off the string for the pull off. So I got slide, slide, pull off, and then we're going to do that same idea but on the D string. So then you got kind of 2, 4, slide, 2, slide, pull off to open D. So you got 2, 3, 2, 2, 4, 2, 0, 2, 4, 2, 0, which is a really cool way to kind of substitute it on the 2nd G. So we tried it that way. You have B minor, down, up, down, up, B minor, down, down, up, down, G down, down, up, down, up, 2, 3, 2, 2, 4, 2. And then the E minor 7, or E minor, G, B minor, B minor, G, lick, E minor, G. So that might be something you want to kind of work on to kind of throw in too. And actually there's another really cool lick that kind of happens through our chorus part. So and you could actually try that chorus part with those drone voicings too. So actually if we tried that, you'd have D with down, 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 D down, 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 E minor 7, down, down, E minor 7, G, 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 down, down, D down, 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 D down, 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 E minor down, 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 E minor down, down, G down, 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 G down, 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 G down, 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 G down, down, down. And on the chorus, there's kind of a lick like we were talking about in the verse part, but on this one it's more about hammer-on. So we kind of play open A and do a hammer-on to 2nd fret with the 1st finger, and I'm going to do a hammer-on to 4th fret on the A string with the 3rd finger. So I'm going 0, 2, 4 fret-wise, but thinking open 1st finger, 3rd finger, I kind of get a double hammer-on. And then I'm going to do that same thing on the D string. So I'm kind of going 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4. It's kind of a double hammer-on lick. And then if you take 2nd fret on the A string and kind of do a pull-off, and then play low E on the 3rd fret. So you got 0, 2, 4, 0, 2, 4, 2, 0, 3, which kind of gets substituted in for the 2nd D and the 2nd E minor. So if we tried that, we'd have D with down, down, up, lick, E minor, lick, G, down, up, down, G down, down, up, down, G down, down, up, is kind of adding in those licks. And then what I think sounds really good with it too is working off of bass notes for the chords. And what I mean by that is, like, a lot of times that first down that you're doing, you can actually play the bass note for each chord. So like for instance on the B minor, you could do the A string for your bass, and then you're down up down afterwards. So you got B minor with an A bass, down up down, B minor with an A bass, down up down, B minor with an A bass. And if you're doing one of the smaller B minors, you may have to fake that on the G string. But then when we get to the G major, then your bass note would be on the low E string. So you got G with low E bass, down up down, G with low E bass, down up down, G with low E bass, down up down. And on the E minor, you'd have the low E string for your bass, low E bass, down up down, B minor with low E bass, down up down, B minor with low E bass, down up down. And that can really work really well with, oh, and then when you get to the D chord, you got the D for the bass. So D bass, down up down, D with the D bass, down up down, D with the D bass, down up down. But on the drone voicings, that can really make that really kind of work. So on that B minor drone voicing, you got the A string for your bass, down up down, B minor with A bass, down up down, G with low E bass, down up down, G with low E bass, down up down, B minor with low E bass, down up down, B minor with low E bass, down up down, G with low E bass, down up down, G with low E bass, down up down. Through that intro and the verse part. So I think that really can make that drone voicing really kind of work. Bass down and down, my low bass down and down, my low bass down and down, G with low bass down and down, G with low bass down and down. So maybe something else you want to try. And if we tried the basses through the chorus part, then you got D with the D bass down and down, D with the D bass down and down, my low bass down and down, my low bass down and down, G with 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 low bass down and down, D with the D bass down. Bass down and down, my low bass down and down, my low bass down and down, G with 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 low bass down and down, D with the D bass down and down, D with the D bass down and down, my low bass down and down, my low bass down and down, G with 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 low bass down and down. And then we basically be repeating those parts through our song until at the very end we kind of do a big D major. So that's the basics of how you could strum through Hello, I'm in Delaware by City and Color. So good luck!